Hello guys, and a warm welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joyce. For those of you who are new here, thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel. Thank you for even deciding to watch this video. And guys, as I always say, I'll never get tired of telling you thank you. So if you're watching this video, most probably you've already watched the previous video, the previous part of this video, and I had reached at that point where I was telling you guys that my baby daddy requested me that we should meet up so that we can talk on how we're going to raise our baby. And I know most of you by now, you are asking yourself, like, why did I even say yes to that? And does it mean that I can't raise the kid alone? And there is one thing I want you to understand by now, that this was not the first time that we were splitting. And each and every time we could split, I could pack my bags and I could carry the baby with me. And guys, there is no single time that ended well. And this is because this guy had already made it clear to me that at any point, if you will ever separate, just know that the kid is mine and you should never come back looking for her. And he used to say that over and over, to an extent that by now it had already clicked in my mind that if I will ever want the custody of the kid, the only way I can do that is through going the legal way, like through the children court. I was fully aware of that and I was ready to do that. And what used to happen, guys, is that this guy, the baby daddy, used to take away the kid from me. Like, whenever he could take the kid away from me, he will try to block my access to the kid. Like, he could try and limit my access to the kid. And I think, guys, I should play you one phone recording of how things used to happen. And I think that will shed more light on why it was really so important for me to go and meet him so that we can talk about how we're going to raise the kid. And the phone recording that you're about to listen is in Kikuyu, but I think I will explain what they are conversing, what they are talking about. So just listen to this phone call recording, and then I'll continue with my video.
Riu no riu kĩndona kĩramakia rĩ nĩ ndona ta ngĩanjia kũrehe ũbuthi nĩ ũndũ wake.
Ndarĩ na thĩna we rĩu nĩkĩ kĩrakũmakia ũbuthi ũkona atĩa?
Ndoragia atĩrĩrĩ no gũkĩaria nĩ angĩgĩthiĩ gũikara na ndani ndũĩ ndangĩmenya ena kũu.
Mwana ndarĩ kũndũ arathi tũraikara nake gũkũ nawe. Ndĩramũtwara kwĩ ndani ageke atĩa gũkũigĩrĩra ũrĩa ũngĩ mũrigo.
Aca no ndehage mũirĩtu ũcio.
Aca ndangĩigĩrwo mĩrigo ĩyo yothe, ena kana gake. Ningĩ angĩkĩmũkua karanja gaithe tũtiraugire mwana no waku. We wasiwasi icio nĩcio igũgũtũrĩria thĩna. Ĩni rĩu ũranyitwo nĩ wasiwasi wa andũ.
Aca no araugĩte atĩ ngaikara wega nĩakamũgĩra.
Ndarĩ na thĩna ona no tũtagũthiĩ na mbere na kũhoya Ngai. Rĩu arakũmakia nake, karĩ ciana cigana ithiaga na manyina na igacokerera maithe, nawe gũtũra na ũrimũ ũcio waku. Nĩkĩ kĩũru nawe ningĩ gũcokia meciria na thutha?
Nyona ti kũmwĩtio kĩndĩreciria niĩ na ũhoro wa Mĩrĩ
arakũmakia nake, kaĩ ona thiĩ ithe to arĩ gũcokerera. Ndikwĩraga ta rĩu mwanake rĩu ũthiaga gũcaria ithe. Na rĩu tondũ ona ndakĩrĩ aramũgĩra rĩ, nĩ thĩna ũrĩkũ ũrakũnyita? Niĩ ndingĩtĩkĩra gũthiĩ kũigĩrĩra Joseph mũrigo ũngĩ hau. Na ti kũremwo tũrĩmetwo nĩ Mĩrĩ, ona kũu agĩkũĩ angĩkĩmũgĩra. Wasiwasi icio nĩ ciake, ithe totarĩra ningĩ twamũtwarĩte Naikuru ningĩ mũgĩcoka kũmũgĩra. Nĩ mĩtugo ĩrĩkũ ĩyo rĩu ningĩ wanjĩrĩria?
Ndokũria ngũragia niĩ.
Ndarĩ kũndũ agũthiĩ gũikara gũkũ mũciĩ. Nenda kũmũgĩra nĩ akamũoya moko-inĩ makwa.
What you have just heard is a conversation between my baby daddy and the mom. And in this conversation, the baby daddy was trying to convince the mom to take the kid. And by then, the kid was with the mom. And he was trying to convince the mom to take the kid to brother's place so that I won't have the access to the kid. So that when I come to mom's place looking for the kid, I won't find her. And in this conversation, the mom said no. And according to her, she said no, she can't do that because it was not the first time that she was doing that. And the last time she did that, we both went looking for the kid. So in this conversation, the mom said, no, I won't do that because the last time you made me to do that, like the last time you made me take the kid to your sister's place in Nakuru, and you both came looking for the kid. So I will never do that again. So if the mom wants the baby, like she will come and she'll take the kid from my hands. So that was their conversation, and that's what used to happen. Like each and every time the baby daddy will take the kid from me, he will try so hard like to block my access to the kid. And I knew that, and I knew that the only way I can get the custody of the kid, like, is through a legal way, through going the children court. And because I was not ready to fight him, like I was not ready to argue with him, and I knew I can't argue with him. So the only way I could get the custody of the kid, I was fully prepared that immediately I'm well, I'll go to the children court, and I'll fight for the custody of the kid. And he knew that, like he definitely knew that as long as I'm not with the kid, I'll definitely fight for the kid. And when he said that he wants us to meet, so that we can talk on how we're going to raise the kid, like I felt relieved. Like I felt like this is the thing that I have been waiting for the longest time, because I used to raise that conversation. I used to tell him that we should talk on how we're going to raise the kid, and our conversation used not to end well, because by then he used to tell me that he used to made it so clear that you will never get the custody of the kid, and that should stick in your head. And so when he said that he's ready to talk about that, I felt relieved. Like I felt like he's trying to make things like easier for me, because if you have ever been in children court, you obviously know that it's not something easy. It's not something that you wake up in the morning, that go to the children court, and then you get the custody of the kid. Like it entails a lot. It entails a lot, and it's a lengthy process, especially when you don't have money. And by then I was not so well, because for you to get the custody of the kid, like you have to prove, like to the court, like you have to prove the court that I can be able, like I can afford to raise this kid. And it's not that the kid like could have slept hungry or something, but like I didn't have evidence like that I could present to the court and tell them that I can raise the kid because I have this and this and this and this. Because by then I was not employed. If you have watched the previous video, you already know that I used to be a full-time mom, and I used to do online academic writing in the house. And what you did know is that he was my employer. And so immediately I'm not inside his house, he knew that I am jobless. And so before I could even plan to go to the children court, I knew that I have to prepare myself. Like I have to get a life, I have to plan my life and to get a job before I could even go to children court. So when he said that he wants us to meet, I said yes. I said yes because to me I felt like it was working on my favor, and I said yes. And the same day, it was the same day that he asked me to meet him. The same day I said yes, and the same day we met. The incidents happened in his car, where I agreed to enter after a great conviction from him. And I remember he was the one who opened the door for me. Like I sat in the co-driver seat and he sat in the driver's seat. So he opened the door for me, and then I entered, then he closed the door and then went on the other side and entered the driver's seat. And what I didn't know that is that the door was on child lock. Like I really didn't know. And at this point, like it didn't even ring in my mind that I'm in a risky place, because first of all, the car was parked in a public place. Secondly, it's during the day, and that like he's the one who called me. Like he was the one who called me, and he made it clear like, you're not ready to talk about other conversation, but you are ready to talk about the kid, and just come. We are going to talk about the kid then. So in my mind, like I was so clueless. Like I was so clueless. I didn't even think in a million years that anything bad can happen to me at that point. So when I entered in the car, at first he was so calm, and we started conversing. And he started with a normal conversation, like, oh, how life had been, like, just a normal conversation. And I remember I was the one who brought up that conversation of, like, I told him that let's go direct to the point. Like, let's go direct to the point of why am I here. Let us talk about how we are going to raise the kid. And at this point, he asked me, like, why is it so hard for you to come back and so that we can raise the kid as a mom, dad, and like as a family? Like, why is it so hard for you to do that? And he tried begging me that I should go back, but he obviously knew that I can't do that. He obviously knew that I can't do that, because he knew what I've gone through in that marriage, and he knew that definitely I was going to say no. And so I told him no. That's not the reason why I'm here. Like, you obviously know that I can't go back in your house. You obviously know what I have gone through in that marriage, and you obviously know that I can't. Like, I can't go back. So let us talk how we are going to raise this kid separately. And it was at this point that he started becoming angry. And I remember him asking me, like, do you think I can allow you to take my kid and raise her with another man? That was so painful, and I didn't see it coming. And he repeated the same statement severally. And at this time, he's becoming even more angry. He said that, how foolish do you really think I am, that I can allow you to take my kid and raise her with another man? Like, do you really think that can happen when I'm still alive? I didn't have an answer to that, because honestly, guys, I didn't think that our conversation would go in that direction. I didn't think, like, I was so clueless. I didn't think that our conversation can take that lead. And so I started asking him, why did you even call me here then? Like, if you're not ready for us to talk about how we're going to raise the kid, why did you even call me here? And at this point, he brought another topic also. Apparently, he was so angry because of how I packed my things and left. And I didn't know, like, honestly, I didn't know that he was mad, because why would you even be mad? Yet you know perfectly well that you are the reason why I packed my things. Like, why would you even be mad? Like, I didn't understand. Like, I even didn't think that he would be angry, because he knew the reason why I packed my things. And he started asking me, where did you go that day when you packed your things and left? Like, where did you go? Where do you stay right now? Who is paying that rent? I didn't have answer to that. Honestly, I didn't have answer to that. And I know this man. Honestly, I know this man. He's type of man that gets so angry very fast, and he don't know how to control his anger. And I knew that this was not the point that I could even start conversing with him. I knew that this is not the time that I can even, like, say anything at that point concerning what he's asking, because I knew it will end badly. And so I told him, stop going away from the main topic that brought us here. Let us talk about how we are going to raise the kid. Stop asking me where I am staying. Stop asking who is paying the rent. Stop asking all those questions. Let's go direct to the point. How are we going to raise our kid separately? And At this point, he was so angry. And I remember him telling me that you're not going to control what you're going to talk in this. You're not going to control what you're going to talk in this conversation, because I am the one who called you and I am the one to say what you're going to talk. So stop acting like you want to control me. I knew he was hungry. I knew he was mad. And I know him when he's in that state. I know, like, my place. I can't start, like, it's not something that we can even have a conversation. Like, we can't have a conversation when he's angry, because it have never ended well. So I told him that if you're not ready for us to talk about how you're going to raise the kid, then I'm going to leave. If you're not ready to talk about how you're going to raise the kid, I'm going to leave. And so I tried opening the door. And it was at this point I realized that the door had child lock. And all this time I didn't know that. And I was so afraid. Like, I was so shocked. I was so shocked, guys, because I know this guy, and I know when he's angry, he's the type of man that does not know how to control his anger. So I knew there and there, I knew that something bad is about to happen. And so I told him calmly, open this door for me. Open this door for me. If you're not ready for us to talk about what brought me here, kindly open this door for me. And he said no. And I told him that, please open this door for me. And if you're not going to open the door for me, I'll start shouting. I told him, like, I'll start shouting. And he told me, fanya vile unataka. Do whatever you want. But I'm not going to open that door. Guys, I was so shocked. And I remember I started banging the window. And as I continued to bang the window, I was telling him, I was shouting at him, open this door, open this door, open this door. And it was at this point that he took a stone. All this while, I had seen something packed. He had a stone that was packed in a shopping bag, a blue shopping bag. And it was at his, like, where he had placed his legs. Like, I could see that shopping bag, but I can't shake. Like, I couldn't think that in a million years that I didn't think that he can do that. So he took that shopping bag, which inside had a big stone. And as I continued hitting the window, shouting, he hit me with that stone on the head. And guys, I was so shocked. Like, I was so shocked, because I knew something bad is about to happen. Like, I knew my life was in danger there and then. And so I started shouting even more. And at this point, he didn't stop. Like, he continued hitting me with a stone on the head. And as he's hitting me, I remember he was telling me that, how foolish do you think that I am, that I can allow you to take the kid with you and go raise her with another man? How foolish do you think that I am? Like, are you leaving me because of another man? If I can't get you, then no other man will ever get you. And so today I'm going to kill you. Today you're definitely going to die. Today. he hit me on the head several times with that stone. And at that point, he was saying that he's going to kill me. And I was shouting for help. And I was trying to cover my head. Like I didn't want him to hit me on the face. So I was covering my head. Like I was trying to cover my head. I don't like remembering that incident because each time I remember that, like I hear his voice telling me that I'm going to kill you, like today you are going to die. And it feels so painful. It feels so painful. Because I never expected that to happen, because I knew he can go many miles to protect the custody of the kid, like so that he can get the custody of the kid. But I never in a million years thought that he can try to eliminate me in the picture so that he can have the full custody of the kid. Like it never occurred to me. Like it never occurred to me even a single time. And as he continued hitting me, guys, I won't lie to you, I believed his words. Like I literally believed his words. I believed that I'm definitely going to die because he was concentrating on hitting me on the head. Like I could try to protect my head with my hands, and then he could remove my hands and then continue hitting me with the stone. So as he continued to hit me, I remember I turned back. You know, initially I was facing at the front, so I turned back. And when I turned back, and I did this to protect my head, like I did it so that I can be able to protect myself even more. So when I turned back, he slanted the chair. He slanted the car seat. And I remember when he slanted the car seat, I tried reaching at the door of the back door, and I tried opening it also. And that the door also had child lock, so it could not open. And all this time I was still shouting. And when he continued, at this time he was still continuing to hit me with the stone in the head. And I think he realized, because the blood was coming out. The blood was coming out of my head. And that did stop him. Like even when he saw like a lot of blood is coming from my head, like that didn't stop him. He still continued to hit me. And I remember as he was still continuing to hit me, I think he realized that his clothes are getting stained with the blood. So I remember him throwing, like putting the stone down, like just next to me. He put the stone down and he removed his clothes, like the upper side. He had a shirt and a vest. I remember he removed those clothes, and they were stained, like they had a lot of blood. I remember him, he removed them, and at this time as he was trying to remove them, by then he had stopped hitting me with the stone. So he was punching me. He was punching me with his hands, and he removed his clothes like so fast. I think he did even unbutton like the shirt. He's just grabbed it and then removed everything, inclusive the vest. So on the upper side, by now he was naked, like on the upper side. And he still continued to hit me. And right now he's on my back, because I told you guys I turned back. So I was in front of him and he was in my back. And it was at this point that he decided that he can rape me. And remember, guys, at this point, I am so bloody, like I'm so bloody, like my whole head was so bloody, and I was screaming. And I remember as he continued hitting me, telling me how like he can't allow me to raise the kid with other man. I remember I was trying to tell him that it's okay with me, just stay with the kid, it's okay, just stay with the kid. I remember, like, I literally begged for my life, but that did stop him. And I remember he removed his trouser. He had a jeans trouser. I remember he removed the trouser, and he tried to remove my trouser also, because I was putting on a trouser. He tried to remove my trouser also, and I knew what he wanted to do, and so I was fighting back. Like I was trying to stop him from removing my trouser. And this time, he's still punching me. Like he could even take my head. And I remember him taking my hand and kneeling on my hand, one of my hand, when I was trying to. Eventually, he managed to remove my trouser. But before he could even do anything, an angel was sent. Like I literally say that an angel was sent, because at that point I knew I was going to die. I knew he was going to do the worst for me, and I kind of was even tired of shouting for help, because like nothing was coming along. So I remember someone opened the driver door, and at this point he's completely naked. Like he was completely naked. Someone opened the driver door, and by now, remember, we are both in the co-driver seat. So when that person opened the driver door, there were two people. I remember that person saying that, ni malaya. That word, when I remember those words, it pains me. Like it really pains me so much. Like it really pains me. But I think it's something that they were used to. That people could park their cars there, and then they could make out in the car. And then when he opened the door, the first thing he saw was a naked man. So I think definitely he thought it must be a prostitute. So when he opened the door, like so immediately when he opened the door, my baby daddy jumped, and he wanted to go to lock the door. So immediately he jumped. I lifted up my head, and by then that man was still there. Like those, I think there were two men. I saw two. I don't know if there were more than two. I saw two. They were still there. So I lifted up my head, and guys, I was so bloody. Like I was so bloody. I was so bloody. Like my head was covered with blood. My face, I had blood. Like I was bleeding. Like my teeth was also bleeding. Like my mouth. And that's when I lifted the head, that's when those people like looked at me. And I remember telling them, I remember asking for help from them. And that's when they realized that this is not just a normal prostitute as they were terming me. And I remember them saying that ataua huyo dem, ataua huyo dem, like he's going to kill that girl. He's going to kill that girl. And immediately my baby daddy jumped and he locked the door and he put on the engine and he started running. And I remember at the point that he immediately started the engine, because now I could open the window. I remember opening the window, but the door was still locked. Like I could not open the door. So I opened the window. And I remember I wanted to jump. And we were not far away. The car was not parked far away from the main road. And so he entered in the main road. And at this time, like my head was outside the window. My head and my hand, and like I was literally trying to jump. And he entered in the main road and he ran so fast. He ran very fast. And people were shouting. I remember because my head, like, I was so full of blood on my head and my face. And I was trying to jump and everyone could see like the blood in me. I remember people shouting. Usiruke, like don't jump. They were telling me to don't jump, but I knew, like I knew I was going to jump. As I was trying to jump through the window, because guys, I was really determined to jump through the window, because to me, I felt like I've gotten an opportunity to run away, because I definitely knew that he's going to kill me and he was so determined to killing me and he will definitely do that. And to me, I thought he was running away so that he can kill me, like he can go to another place where he's going to end me up. And so I could not wait for that. I was so determined to jump through the window. And I remember people started shouting. I remember people shouting that atagonga hiyo lori, like he's going to hit that lorry. And it was at this point, guys, that I looked at the front. Remember, at this time, the part of me was already outside the window. So I looked at the front and I saw a big lorry. That was headed in the same direction that we were headed, and the car was accelerated. And as people continued to shout, I knew like he will do that. He will definitely hit that lorry, because the lorry was not moving very fast. And guys, so I entered back in the car. Like immediately I entered back in the car. And it was at this point I remember him telling me that ulidhania watakuokoa. Today I told you that you must die and that's what's going to happen. Leo nilikuambia lazima ukufe na lazima ukufe. Like ulidhania watu watakuokoa. I felt so desperate. And I remember telling him, like the last word that I said before everything happened. I remember the last thing I said was, please usiniue. Because to me, I knew that immediately he hit this lorry, I'm definitely going to die. Like that was my mind. Like I knew immediately he hit this lorry, I'm definitely going to die. And guys, everything happened within a blink of an eye. because the next thing I remember is the Big Bang. The next thing I remember is the Big Bang. And he hit the lorry from behind. And you know, we were in a car, and this is a big lorry. Guys, I don't usually like to remember that day. I don't like remembering that day. I even don't like talking, like explaining what really happened, because it brings back a lot of emotions, and it makes me feel so bad. And so immediately he hit the lorry. I don't know if he was injured. Honestly, up to date, I don't know if he was injured, because immediately he hit the lorry. He jumped. He opened his door. He jumped and ran away. I remember this time, guys, that he was totally naked. Like, he was totally naked. Like, nothing on him. Even the shoes. He didn't even have the shoes. So immediately he hit the lorry. He opened the door and left me there to die alone. And I remember I had people shouting, because at this moment he had already like attracted a lot of attention from people. And like immediately he hit the lorry, so immediately people came. And I think he, at this point, I usually think like the reason why he ran away like so immediately is because he had already attracted a lot of attentions from people, and there was a lot of people who were coming our way. And he knew that maybe if those people found him there, they would definitely do something bad to him. And so he decided to run away, and he left me there in the car. And remember, guys, at this point, I'm already injured. Like, I have so many wounds on my head, and my teeth, like my mouth. I remember people trying to open the door, like my door. And I remember them saying that huyo dem amekufa, guy, huyo dem amekufa. I remember them saying that, and I could hear them, but I was just whispering. I was telling them that I'm not dead, but it's like I didn't even have a voice to say that. I remember I was kind of whispering that. So they tried so hard opening my door, and immediately they removed me from the car. And like so immediately, I got a good Samaritan who had a car, and he offered to take me to the nearest hospital. And I remember I was entered in the car, and then I was rushed to the hospital. And whenever I remember that incident, honestly, guys, as much as it fills me with a lot of emotions, I usually thank God. And I usually thank God because I'm alive to tell this story. And despite that, I sustained serious injuries that I'm still nursing up to date. Some part of me still feels so grateful to God because of the gift of life. Because sometimes I sit down and I start thinking, what if I died? Like, how will they even tell my child? Like, what is the story will they tell my child? Will they have told my child? And it pains me, like it really pains me knowing that all that happened in the name of that. I was trying to do what's best for my kid. Like, it really pains me. And I don't like talking about the incidents, honestly. I don't like. And it have taken a lot of courage for even me to just decide that I'm going to sit down and explain my story to you guys. And I think I'm going to end my video here. So guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to end my video here, and that's the whole story of what happened. And so continue subscribing, continue liking, continue sharing, and until next time guys, bye bye.